Namaskaram, welcome. If you are interested to invest in international markets, do your analysis sitting in India and just at a click of a button, if you want to invest in US stocks, this video is right for you. I wanted to invest in US stocks, but as an Indian resident, it is very tough for me to invest in US because I need to open a international broking account, generally IBKR. International Interactive Brokers is one platform which gives us facility to invest in US markets also or worldwide markets also. But it's expensive. The transfer charges for the funds, all those are very tough, and there is a limitations also for investments and all. Sitting in India, I wanted to do study and I wanted to invest in good stocks, a portfolio of a good stocks. So I found a very good instrument where I can invest at a click of a button. Let me show you the research what I've done, which will help you to, accordingly invest sitting in India and get good returns for investing in US stocks. Now, fundsbazaar.com is one of the very good websites where you can do research for all the mutual funds, even if you want to invest in international markets. So I went to research in fundsbazaar.com, clicked on funds analyzer, and then did the international search, and I found some two funds. When I opened this SBI International Equity Fund, I found so many funds. In that, one thing which really attracted me was Mirae Asset NYSE FANG ETF fund of funds. So this fund of funds is an passive fund. Now, if you could see the last 1 year returns, 46% in the last 2 years, 47% per annum, and in the last 3 years, 20% per annum. If you compare all these international funds which are right now available in India. So today, there are so many mutual funds which are offering you facility to invest in US stocks. Then why the hell we require to open an account for international markets, to invest in international stocks? We can sit here and decide which fund, which country, which sector we want to invest, and invest in that mutual funds, and the mutual fund will take care of investing on our behalf in all those exciting stocks of the world. Now, Mirae Asset NYSE Fund, Motilal Oswal Nasdaq 100 Fund of Funds, Franklin Feeder Fund, Nasdaq 100 of Kotak, Edelweiss Technology, and PGIM Global Equity Opportunity. But if you see the returns, if you see the last 1 year returns, the best return has been Mirae Asset NYSE FANG plus ETF. Now, this is the best return. The second best, if you could see, is Franklin US Opportunity Fund. The best return next is Global Equity Opportunity Fund of PGIM. Now, why did I find this one is more attractive? One is a portfolio. Two, the minimum return what it has given in the last 3 years has been better compared to any other fund. So that's one good performance of this particular fund. Now, when I see this particular fund, one of the things which is beta is 1.6. That means it's an aggressive fund. If the market falls or the FANG stocks fall, the fund also will fall a lot. But in the last 3 years, there has been so many cases where the stocks have been falling, but if you see the performance, last 3 years, 20% minimum return it has given in spite of addressing all the falls. In the last 3 years, it is able to bounce back faster and give us a minimum of 19.5% return in the last 3 years. Mirae Asset NYSE FANG plus ETF fund of funds. And here, if you could see out of all the funds, this is the best return this particular mutual fund has given. And even in spite of major falls in between also, the returns has been decent enough and good enough. But please remember, during the course of the fall, the fund will fall heavily, for which we need to be prepared for the risk with patience. That is the only strength we need to develop to invest in this particular fund. Now, another interesting point what I found about this particular fund is, since inception, for Those who have done SIP, it has given a yield of around 33.88%, and this fund has started in 2021 May, and most of these international funds have started during 2021 only. Most of the funds, if you could see, there is no performance for so many funds in the last 5 years except these two funds. So most of the funds have started just 3.5 years back. So the comparison of these funds has been decent enough. And very important thing is about the diversification or the level of stocks, the list of stocks it has made. Let me show you the portfolio of this particular fund. It is having Tesla, Apple, Meta Platform, Netflix, Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet, Broadcom, Snowflake, and Nvidia. And most of them are 9 to 10% holdings of each stock in this particular. So it is equally weighted, and it has all the top companies of S&P 500 in US market, and this is well diversified, and it's having all the best performing stocks, and these are considered to perform better also in the future based on this mutual fund. So there is an ETF which is called FANG Plus ETF. So FANG Plus ETF consists of these stocks. So FANG Plus ETF is expected to do better also in the long term. So FANG is Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, plus all these Microsoft, Broadcom, Snowflake, and all, Nvidia and all. So these are in addition to the FANG stocks which are there in this particular ETF. So the chances are that even in future these stocks as a combination can do better because it is well weighted, and if few stocks are not performing, few other stocks are performing, the returns can be maintained. Only when the whole market falls heavily, with all the stocks falling, most of the stocks of this list are falling, then the performance of this fund can be affected, which is common for most of the funds. So that is one of the risk in this particular fund. So those are looking at SIP, those who are looking at investing now because the interest rate is going to come down in US. Next, the elections are going to get completed in November, and new government is going to form, and there can be a better direction. So in that scenario, and third is for a longer term perspective, somebody is considering, I feel this particular fund is a interesting fund to invest in the US markets without having any additional demat account for investing in US market. You don't require an SSN. You can directly invest into this particular fund sitting in India in the international top performing stocks, FANG Plus ETF, and get better returns in the long term. I am not a SEBI analyst. I have done this research. I found this is good for educative purpose, and I'm sharing this. Please consult your financial advisor and take necessary decision, and you can open a Funds Bazaar free account. I'll just share that particular link in this particular video. Accordingly, you can consider investing in this particular mutual fund through Funds Bazaar mutual fund account. It is one account for all the mutual funds, for all the financial instruments, for whole of your family with one single login. Happy trading, happy investing. Thank you.